I've always believed that food is the heartbeat of a culture, and if you want to truly understand a place, you have to dive into its culinary scene. So, when I found myself in Vietnam, I knew I was in for an adventure. But let me tell you, this wasn't just any trip. It was a foodie's pilgrimage to the streets, where the magic of authentic Vietnamese street food unfolds. As I stepped out onto the bustling streets of Ho Chi Minh City, the air was thick with the scent of sizzling meats, fresh herbs, and the unmistakable aroma of fish sauce. It was overwhelming, in the best possible way. Everywhere I looked, vendors were setting up their stalls, their carts adorned with colorful ingredients that promised a feast for the senses. I knew I had to start my journey right there, in the heart of the city, where the street food scene was alive and vibrant. My first stop was a humble little stall tucked away in a narrow alley. The sign read, Banh Mi, and my heart raced with excitement. Banh Mi, the iconic Vietnamese sandwich, is a beautiful fusion of French and Vietnamese culinary traditions. The bread is crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and stuffed with a medley of ingredients. I watched as the vendor expertly slathered a generous amount of pâté onto the baguette, then layered in grilled pork, pickled vegetables, and a handful of fresh cilantro. Each bite was a symphony of flavors, the crunch of the vegetables, the savory richness of the meat, and the aromatic herbs dancing together in perfect harmony. It was an explosion of taste that made me realize I was only scratching the surface of what Vietnam had to offer. As I wandered through the market, I stumbled upon a stall selling pho, the beloved noodle soup that has become synonymous with Vietnamese cuisine. The broth simmered for hours, a labor of love that transformed simple ingredients into something extraordinary. I watched in awe as the vendor poured the steaming broth over a bed of rice noodles, then added slices of tender beef, fresh herbs, and a squeeze of lime. The first sip was like a warm hug on a chilly day. It was comforting, nourishing, and utterly delicious. I could feel the passion behind each bowl, a testament to the generations of families who have perfected this dish. But it wasn't just the well-known dishes that caught my attention. I was determined to explore the hidden gems, the street food that often goes unnoticed. I ventured further into the market and found a vendor selling Banh Xeo, or Vietnamese pancakes. These golden, crispy crepes were filled with shrimp, pork, and bean sprouts, and served with a side of fresh lettuce and herbs. The idea was to wrap the pancake in a lettuce leaf, dip it in a tangy sauce, and take a bite. The crunch of the lettuce combined with the savory filling created a delightful contrast that made my taste buds sing. I couldn't help but smile at how something so simple could bring so much joy. Next, I encountered a stall that was serving a dish called goi goon, or fresh spring rolls. These delicate rolls, wrapped in rice paper, were filled with shrimp, vermicelli noodles, and an abundance of fresh herbs. The vendor demonstrated how to roll them tightly, making it look effortless. I watched as she dipped each roll into a rich peanut sauce, and I knew I had to try it. The freshness of the ingredients was unlike anything I'd experienced before. Each bite was a burst of flavor, and the creamy sauce added a delightful richness that tied it all together. As the sun began to set, the market transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors. Neon lights illuminated the stalls, and the sounds of laughter and chatter filled the air. I made my way to a stall selling chai, a traditional Vietnamese dessert. The vendor scooped colorful layers of beans, jelly, and coconut milk into a cup, topping it with crushed ice. It was a refreshing way to end my culinary journey for the day. The sweetness of the ingredients was perfectly balanced, and the textures were a delightful surprise. Throughout my exploration, I couldn't help but notice the sense of community that permeated the streets. Families gathered around tables, sharing meals and stories, while friends laughed and enjoyed the simple pleasure of good food. It was a reminder that food isn't just about sustenance. It's about connection, culture, and the memories we create around the table. As I reflected on my day, I realized that each dish I tasted told a story, stories of tradition, love, and the resilience of the Vietnamese people. I felt grateful to have experienced this vibrant culture through its food. It was more than just a meal. It was a glimpse into the heart and soul of Vietnam. So, if you ever find yourself in Vietnam, don't just stick to the tourist spots. Venture into the streets, seek out the hidden stalls, and let your taste buds guide you. Embrace the chaos of the markets, engage with the vendors, and savor every bite. Because in those moments, you'll discover the true essence of Vietnamese cuisine, a tapestry of flavors, history, and community that will leave a lasting impression on your heart and palate. And remember, food is a journey, not just a destination. Each bite is an opportunity to learn, to connect, and to celebrate the rich tapestry of human experience. So go out there, explore, and let the world of street food take you on an unforgettable adventure.